Hello, everyone, and welcome to our May edition of the Personal Peace Procedure Free Community Tapping Circle. I'm really glad that you're here and that we are finally tapping on sleep issues together this month. So many of you have requested this topic over the years, and somehow it kept narrowly losing the community vote. But honestly, I think the timing for this conversation is perfect. So before we begin, I want to share just a little something funny and very humbling about me in regards to sleep. I used to be an Olympic level sleeper. Like truly, when I was little, I could sleep absolutely anywhere. My family would joke about it all the time. There are photos of me asleep in the weirdest positions imaginable. One of them is me fully passed out with my face smushed up against a wall, mouth hanging open, upper lip somehow suction cupped to the paint and completely unbothered, just out cold. The kind of sleep where you look uncomfortable, but I was thriving, apparently. So I could sleep through marching bands, thunderstorms, even at a NASCAR race. I fell asleep on the bleachers as a toddler. I'm from the South. That's just what we do there. We go to NASCAR races. So those cars are really loud, and I could just sleep. It was just not something that I ever thought about. My body just did it. And then perimenopause arrived and said, what if we turn sleep into a full contact nervous system event? And so that's what I've been going through for the past couple of years with my sleep stuff. And so some of you may be able to relate. I was waking up drenched in sweat, heart racing, filled with this strange sense of dread that seemed to come from nowhere. You may remember a couple winters ago, we tapped on dread because I kept waking up with this dread. I'd wake up in the middle of the night feeling alert, overstimulated, and deeply unsettled in a body that used to feel so reliable around sleep. So, I know that for many of us, hormones can absolutely play a role in sleep disruption. Perimenopause and menopause can affect temperature regulation, cortisol patterns, nervous system sensitivity, adrenaline surges, anxiety, and overall sleep quality. And while women talk about this a little bit more openly, I also want to acknowledge the men here too, because men can experience changes with age that impact hormones and stress responses and nervous system regulation, sleep quality, nighttime waking, overall resilience as well. Sometimes it's just talked about less, but that doesn't make the experience less real. So, what helped me was not forcing sleep harder, because I know we want to do that sometimes. We're like, oh, I just want to go to sleep, just force it. But what helped me was learning how to support my nervous system differently. And so some of that included supplements for hormonal support. If you're curious about that, you can shoot me an email at info@amandawonderland.com. But a huge piece of it was nervous system regulation, learning how to communicate safety to my body again. And that's a lot of what we'll be exploring together here today. I also want to share with you a few tools that I personally use now that I used last night, including imaginal tapping, where I simply visualize myself tapping the points without physically moving. I especially love this when I'm trying to stay really still while falling asleep. If you're trying to fall asleep and you're actually you doing this activating motion, it may be a bit counterintuitive, but studies have proven that if you literally imagine tapping on the exact acupressure points, it can create a similar effect. So that's one of my favorite ones. And then I also sometimes do just gentle eye circles, like our normal eye circles, but I do it with my eyes closed, which is strange. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but just give it a shot. Just see how that feels, because that also can help discharge activation and it can soften hypervigilance without fully waking yourself back up. So if you've been feeling frustrated with your sleep, if your body feels wired when you desperately want rest, and if nighttime has started to feel emotionally loaded or physically uncomfortable, you are absolutely not alone, and your nervous system is not broken. So that's what today's circle is about. It's for the people who are tired all the way into their bones, but still can't fully rest. So I'm going to honor all the different types of sleep issues that we may have. And then I'm going to open it up since this is a very interactive group because I may have missed some completely. But there are people whose minds get louder just as soon as the world gets quieter, whose bodies stay alert after the lights go out, so who can't get to sleep to begin with. And then there are those who get to sleep just fine, but then they wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. and then that spiral just follows right after that of trying to get back to sleep. Um, and then maybe you wake up just with your heart suddenly pounding like mine, feeling hot, overstimulated, uncomfortable, wired. Maybe you are navigating menopause or perimenopause, and you maybe just started fearing bedtime itself. So, as I said, we're not going to be forcing sleep. We're not here to do sleep correctly. We're here to help the nervous system soften out of protection mode, even just a little bit today. Just going to check the chat because I think there might already be one that I missed of those sleep issues. How about staying asleep? Yes, exactly. So some people have no issues falling asleep, but it's like they wake up like clockwork at 1:17 in the morning and then they just have a hard time going back after that. So we will be honoring all the different sleep issues, including those that are specific to the audience that's here live. Yeah, already you're getting to the core beliefs. If I stay awake, nothing bad will happen. You guys are pros. Maybe it is menopause with hot flashes. Yes, I don't want to leave the men out. We all experience hormonal nervous system changes as we get older, and then also due to our life experiences. So we're just going to honor all of that. But before we do that, we are going to get to a specific sleep event because this is the personal peace procedure free community tapping circle, which means we work on very specific events in this circle. But I want to make sure that our nervous systems feel a little bit more supported before we move into that. Because sometimes if we go straight into a moment, the body can tighten or brace immediately. So let's just orient together first. So I invite you to place both of your feet on the floor if that feels comfortable for you. And then just gently press your toes downward, just to feel a little sense of grounding there. And then slowly begin to look around your room. And ideally, you'll be able to let your eyes land on a few things that feel neutral or even pleasant. So maybe it's a color or a texture or the light coming in through the window. Maybe it's a blanket or a plant. So we're just letting the nervous system notice now that this moment is what's happening right now. And then I invite you to place one hand on your chest and one on your belly so we can just create a little bit of presence with the body. And very slowly, without forcing a deep breath, just allowing a rhythm in your breath to begin here. Just noticing the rhythm of your breath. And as you do this, notice the support beneath you, the temperature of the room, the feeling of your clothing against your skin. Just helping the nervous system stay connected to the present while we explore the sleep experience. And now, from this more supported place, I invite you to bring your awareness to one specific sleep moment. Not your whole sleep history, just one moment. For me, it'll be last night, 3 o'clock in the morning. The moment you stare up at the ceiling, wake up with anxiety, start checking the clock, feel your mind speeding up, get frustrated that you're awake again, or you feel your body overheating, Mr. Menopause, or you notice the dread about tomorrow beginning. And then, as some of you have already done that are here live, gently ask yourself, and this is where we write down on our worksheet or in our journal, what emotions are there? What is your body doing? What thoughts show up? What feels hardest in that moment? I'm going to copy and paste these questions into the chat, and then I'm going to catch up with what you guys have already shared. I'll read them out loud one more time for those that are watching on the recording. In that specific sleep moment, what emotions are there? What is your body doing? What thoughts show up? And what feels hardest in that moment? Someone has already shared frustration. That's the one for me too. Powerlessness. Like, this problem is bigger than me. There's nothing I can do to get my body back to sleep. That's mine. Um, Okay, so someone sharing that, someone you're working through a big T trauma right now. When you sleep, you crash hard, but it seems like it's not enough. But then you can't nap during the day. So it's almost like you're getting the sleep, but it's not quality sleep. It's not that rejuvenating sleep where you actually feel energized the next day. Okay, great thank you for sharing that. I know someone's going to resonate with that. Someone's saying there is such a thing. My husband deals with menopause. Okay, good. Yeah, women are taught to listen for kids out of bed. So that may have been, if you don't have kids yourself, that may have been an ancestral thing. If you do have kids yourself, then you might notice a pin drop as someone else is validating. I hear everything, very sensitive to sounds around me. Have to wear earplugs to fall asleep. Me too. I have to wear earplugs to fall asleep. I think that's also a flight attendant thing from working red eyes and needing to sleep during the day in hotels. Just got used to earplugs during the night. Anxiety is the emotion, panic and dread. Had a song running through my head that pops up immediately. Then I'm awake. Me too. I had an earworm for 4 weeks straight. And every morning I was like, if I can just listen to this song again, maybe it'll go away. But I couldn't. In the end, I tapped on it with a swap partner, and that song was trying to tell me something that I needed to heal. So it's very interesting how that can happen. Frustration and anger, fear of death. Fear of death, that's big. I'm going to start tapping on my collarbone there. That is so real, so genuine, so authentic. Thank you for sharing that. You may have known someone who died in their sleep, and that may still be in your nervous system. Terror right after that, absolutely. Yeah, frustrated, and the thought that it's not fair. My insulin pump woke me up while I was innocently sleeping. It's not fair. Yeah, body is fighting the sleep. Worry that my heart health. Yeah, for sure. Happy to see you here. For the one who's commenting this when it's still racing for 20 minutes after an adrenaline release in the middle of the night. Okay. Yeah, fear that I won't be able to function. The chronic fatigue will come back. All right, good, guys. Thank you so much for sharing all of this. I am going to use this in our empty round that I always leave open to use the live participants' words, all the things I need to do. And if I don't sleep, I won't be able to get it done tomorrow. And yeah, if you've experienced perhaps some type of sexual assault while you're sleeping, there may be some fear from that too. So that's what someone else is sharing in the chat. So we are here to tell the truth. Tapping doesn't work when we're just spiritually bypassing and loading some toxic positivity on top of it. That's not what we're here to do. So let's start with our first round. Knowing that you have your number now, thinking about that moment, 0 to 10. If I didn't mention that, I meant to mention that. How high that frustration is when you think about that moment, that anxiety, that fear, that feeling of it's not fair. I'm not going to function tomorrow. My sleep wasn't quality. Get a number on that so we can have a gauge as we do this tapping to see if it gets better. All right, relaxing the tongue, also a really good tool for resetting your vagus nerve. That's what I did last night when I couldn't sleep. Relax the tongue, imaginal tapping, closed eyes, eye circles. And then you can repeat after me if it resonates, and you can change the words if they don't. Even though part of my body doesn't fully settle at night, or even though all of my body doesn't fully settle at night. And part of me stays alert even when I'm exhausted. I'm noticing how hard this has been. Even though I am so tired. And my nervous system still seems to be on. I'm open to listening to what my body may need. Even though sleep has started to feel stressful instead of comforting, I'm noticing that my system may be trying to protect me. And we'll move to the top of the head. My body won't fully settle. Eyebrow, this alert feeling. Side of the eye. This weird, wired but exhausted feeling. Under the eye, wanting sleep so badly. Under the nose, but not being able to fully let go. Under the mouth, my nervous system staying on guard. Collarbone, this tension in my body. Under the arm, this frustration. Yay, I'm already seeing yawns. We're going to throw in some extra points today. So let's go to the wrist. This pressure around sleep. Good. And we're going to get the thymus today. So just right in the center of your chest, on your breastbone. Part of me still bracing. And because we've mentioned frustration, we'll get to the liver point. So that it's right underneath here. I like to rub them. Some people just tap them, but I like to rub them. You do what feels best for you. As we say, part of my body may not feel safe enough yet. Good. And then bring your hands to your heart for a moment, just giving your body another moment to orient. We're titrating, looking around the room, softening the eyes, unclenching the jaw, releasing the tongue from the roof of the mouth. It's in these micro moments that we support our nervous system and we start to rewire that hypervigilance, that anxiety. So this thymus point that we'll be using today, right here in the center of your upper chest, is often used in energy psychology to support regulation, grounding, and emotional settling. You can do it with your fingertips. I just find it more gentle to use a slightly closed fist and to just kind of use my knuckle area there. So gently tapping on the thymus while breathing slowly. And sometimes the nervous system needs repeated reminders that this moment is different from the moments it learned to brace through. So you practice inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 6. So we'll inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So repeating what the thymus tapping does, it's actually a really great immunity point. So that's, I think, the main thing that people use it for in traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture. But in energy psychology, it really helps with supporting regulation, grounding, and settling your emotions. So Donna Eden and David Feinstein include this as part of their regular tapping rounds. So I just wanted to introduce some extra tools today that you can use in the middle of the night, right before going to bed. And that's what we're going to do now is talk about that middle of the night spiral. Okay. Yeah, great. Using that point to tap on your way to work. And if counting breaths adds stress, then you don't. You just don't. You take away whatever causes stress. And you maybe just la 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 when Amanda is counting on the tapping circle. All right, let's honor that middle of the night spiral. Even though I sometimes wake up in the middle of the night, and my mind immediately starts moving. I'm noticing how activated my body becomes. Even though nighttime feels emotionally louder sometimes, I'm noticing the fear and urgency that can show up. Even though part of me starts scanning for problems at night, I'm open to the possibility that my nervous system is trying to protect me. Good. Let's go back to the top of the head. Waking up suddenly, eyebrow, my heart racing, side of the eye, my thoughts moving fast, under the eye, thinking about tomorrow or today, if it's the 3 a.m., under the nose, thinking about everything, under the mouth, and trying so hard to fall back asleep. Collarbone, feeling pressure immediately. Under the arm, looking at the clock. That's my kryptonite. I can't look at the clock or it's all gone. It's all just a lost cause. So I just try not to look at the clock. Go to the wrist, calculating how much sleep I can still get. I see so many faces knowing exactly what I'm talking about here live. Going to the thymus, this nighttime anxiety. And we'll go to the liver points, my body acting like there's danger. Okay, so here's another really great um, nervous system regulating tool. It's called the wrist point hold. We often do this. This is the pericardium that goes all the way up, all the way straight to our heart. But I'm going to show you this calming acupressure area on the inner wrist, also associated with emotional settling, anxiety reduction, and sleep support. So I can't remember what it's called, guys. I'm sorry, I'm not acupuncturist, but I do know that it helps me. So you gently hold or massage the inner wrist crease beneath the pinky finger. There's a little bone there, so you can almost kind of feel it, like right where that is. And then you breathe slowly, choosing to count or not, just trying to lengthen the exhale. If you can make the exhale a little bit longer, then that's going to help you. So this can be a beautiful point to hold, before immediately reaching for your phone and checking the clock. And someone here live said I had to get rid of all the clocks in the room so I don't even look at them. So before even reaching for the clock, maybe you just reach over and grab that point right there. All right, I would love to do a round honoring the perimenopause, the menopause, and the menopause. And then I'm going to take a break to check in with the chat. Even though my body has been changing and sleep doesn't feel the way it used to, I am meeting my body with compassion. If you can. If you can't, say I am open to. Even though these hormonal shifts can feel intense and unpredictable, I'm noticing how much my nervous system has been carrying. And even though my sleep has changed during this time of my life, I'm open to supporting my body more gently instead of fighting it. Just let that settle for a second, because I know for some of you, it has been a battle. And what if we can just feel a little softer at the end of today? All right, we'll go up to the top of the head. These hormonal shifts. Eyebrow, these night sweats. Side of the eye. Waking overheated. Or I will say what someone just put into the chat. Waking up to pee 1,000 times a night at the same time. Absolutely. And then we'll go underneath the eye, feeling overstimulated. Under the nose, feeling emotionally raw at night. Under the mouth, my nervous system feels more sensitive lately. Collarbone, my body feels different. Under the arm, maybe unfamiliar sometimes. Go to the wrist. This exhaustion. Oh, I just had that beautiful shift that comes from tapping. Going to the thymus, this adrenal feeling in my chest. And going to the liver points. My body is working very hard right now. All right. It's a little bit more script for the negative, the truth of the moment. More about the fear of sleep itself, which I know can come up, but I really want to just take a moment to honor what everyone in the chat is saying and just roll that into a round right now. Yeah, I love that you guys are just feeling so seen and validated in the chat and also safe to share what it's like for you. Yeah, trace your meridian points right before bed, and that helps wonders. I really love the figure 8 from Donna Eden. If you guys have done that one before, when I used to be a nanny, the kids loved it when I would just put them to bed and just kind of trace around their forehead. But the figure 8 is really gentle and comforting, and it gets your bladder, your gallbladder, and your stomach meridian all at the same time in a gentle way. So thank you for sharing that tool. These are all just for you guys to try out and see which one you like best. And you'll notice I'm just kind of always rubbing my sore spot. If you saw me in real life, I'm just kind of always rubbing my sore spot just because I want my nervous system to be calm. It feels so much better. So how about I just take a moment to do a round honoring what everyone's put into the chat. And then we'll check in and see how everyone's doing. Okay. Even though it feels like if I stay awake, and you can repeat there, nothing bad will happen. And I'm just seeing this belief for what it is. Even though it feels like my sleep isn't quality, even when I get it. And I can't nap during the day. It makes sense that I feel exhausted. And even though I've been taught to listen for every sound around me, I'm open to releasing some of that responsibility today. Good. And we'll go to the top of the head. All this frustration and anxiety. Eyebrow, all this panic and dread. Side of the eye, waking up, alert, maybe afraid of dying in my sleep. Maybe leftover fear from a past trauma in my sleep. Under the nose, the terror that keeps me awake. Under the mouth, it's not fair. Why do other people get to sleep and I can't? Collarbone, my body is fighting the sleep so I can stay awake and be on guard. Under the arm, my heart racing for 20 minutes in the middle of the night. Going to the wrist, causing me even more worry about my heart health. Good. Let's go to that thymus right here. Afraid I won't be able to function without the sleep. And we'll go straight to the top of the head. Afraid of chronic fatigue coming back. Eyebrow, wishing I had earplugs that actually worked. Side of the eye, all the things I need to do. And if I don't get sleep, I won't get it done. Under the eye. Okay, someone's giving advice to sleep in a different place. You want to take a nap maybe in the living room in the easy chair. And we're moving underneath the nose, just doing some wordless tapping right now. For anyone who has that block, I never know what to say. You don't have to say a thing. Under the mouth, collarbone, under the arm, wrist point, and thymus. Okay, it's been a lot of steady tapping. Let's take a break and grab a sip. We can move the body around. That feels good for you. I always like to shake it out. Give it a little twist. Nice stretch. Mm-hmm. Just doing what feels good for the body. And then noticing when you go back to that specific sleep moment that you thought about at the beginning of the circle, how high is that emotion, that belief, that hard part? Just checking in with people that are here. Okay, 7 to 3 on a sud. Sud went down, lots of yawns. Yay, good. So happy to hear it. Good, 6 to 2, wonderful. 9 to 6, okay. This is how I gauge whether we do another round of the truth of the moment or whether we kind of stay or everyone feels okay to move on to reframing. So thank you guys for sharing that. My mind is saying stop procrastinating. It's safe to tap on something. Okay, good. 6 to 1. Beautiful. 6 to 2. I'm going to sleep really good tonight and wake up refreshed. 6 to 2. I'm so relaxed that it's not as important that I couldn't fall asleep again. Good. Okay, so here's the vote. My final round for the truth of the moment is the fear of bedtime, like the fear of falling asleep. Let me see how I titled that one exactly. Fear around sleep itself. Okay, a new fear came up that's related to the sleep and my health. So put a Y into the chat if you want to do one more round on the fear around sleep itself. And if there aren't more than 3 Ys, then we'll go ahead and move on to reframing. But if there's 3 Ys, then we'll go ahead and do this final round. Okay. All right, let's do it. I love that you guys are here to let me know exactly what you need in this moment. Because that anticipatory fear can make the night already a painful experience. So let's see if we can just meet that where it's at. Yeah, fear of fear. Beautiful. Okay, we'll do one more round here and then we'll move on to some reframes. Side of the hand. And I've got a couple more tools left for you guys too. Even though bedtime itself has become stressful, I'm noticing how much pressure I've been carrying around sleep. Even though part of me fears another difficult night, I'm allowing myself to soften just a little here. Even though I've been trying so hard to sleep correctly, I am open to needing more safety than perfection. All right, top of the head, dreading bedtime. And as someone said in the chat, especially around travel, before traveling. Yeah. I'm just going to stay on the top of the head for 1 second, guys, to make sure that I honored something I read earlier. Okay. These new fears coming up related to my sleep, if that's true for you. And then we'll move to the side of the eye, wondering what kind of night it will be. Under the eye, trying to force rest. Under the nose, feeling frustrated with my body. Under the mouth, feeling afraid of tomorrow. Collarbone, this pressure to sleep. Under the arm, this fear of not sleeping. Wrist points, my nervous system bracing before bed. And we'll go to the thymus from here, staying alert. Maybe my body learned nighttime isn't safe. Let that one settle if that one really resonates for you. Maybe my body learned nighttime isn't safe. And as often happens when we do our personal peace procedures, sometimes we will tap on one event and then it will lead these strings into the other events that are still holding a charge there. So right now, if your SUD is still kind of high or there's still something there, take a guess as to what's holding that activation there. It may just be that the energy needs to continue to move. It may just be that your body doesn't fully feel safe to let down your guard, but it may also be that there was an event that happened at nighttime. As one of you shared, maybe one of you lost someone while they were sleeping, and processing that event can allow your nervous system to feel less fear around bedtime. So that's why at the bottom of the worksheet, there's a little place to put insights so that you can continue working on your personal peace procedure after this. Okay, I thought I had another tool to share with you guys. Give me 1 second to see that. Yeah, if not, I'll share it at the end. Yes, I do. I have a couple more tools to share. But just checking in, does that feel okay for you guys for us to go ahead and start bringing in more safety instead of pressure? Bringing in a little bit more lightness? Okay, good. Let's do that. All right. Love these reframe rounds. Once we get the suds low enough, I never want to reframe prematurely because I feel like that's just bypassy. It's a waste of time, and that's not the practitioner that I am. So thank you for being patient with me as we try to cover every single truth of every single moment for every single person that might be watching this or participating live. And now we can lighten up a little bit. So even though my nervous system has been stuck in protection mode, I'm open to giving my body signals of safety. Good. Let's go straight to the top of the head. Right now, I am here. Eyebrow. Right now, I am safe enough in this moment. Side of the eye. My body may not need fixing. Under the eye, my nervous system may need support. Under the nose, I don't have to force sleep. Under the mouth, I don't have to earn rest. Oh, please let that settle in for those of you that resonate with that. My body already knows how to sleep on the collarbone, under the arm. Maybe it's been overwhelmed for a long time. Wrist points. Maybe it's been carrying too much. Thymus. I'm allowing softness instead of pressure. One exhale at a time. Good. One of the fastest ways to communicate safety to the nervous system is through a slower exhale, as we talked about already. They stimulate the vagus nerve and help shift the body toward parasympathetic regulation, which is what we need to sleep. So doing that combined with this next point, which is the yin tang, really love the yin tang, can really help calm your nervous system. It's right in between your eyebrows, literally right here where your third eye is, commonly used to calm an overactive mind and support sleep. So here you can just hold. You can tap, although when I'm trying to sleep, I find tapping to be too activating. But so sometimes you can hold and sometimes you can massage. So I want you just to do that for a moment. Good. Just notice how that feels for you. It always leaves a little pink mark on my forehead after I do it. So people know I have just needed to regulate myself, but that's okay. I don't care. All right, let's go straight to the top of the head. My body has been trying very hard to protect me. And eyebrow. I can appreciate that without staying stuck there. Side of the eye. I'm allowed to soften. Under the eye, I'm allowed to rest. Under the nose, I'm allowed to stop scanning. Under the mouth, I don't need to solve tomorrow right now. Collarbone, my body can learn new patterns. Under the arm, rest can become familiar again. I'm going to go straight to that wrist point by the pinky right there. Calm can become familiar again. And I want you just to recognize that a micro moment of calm counts. The beauty of this work is that it's subtle. And over time, you will start to see a calm blanket just form underneath the things that used to once trigger you with consistent, committed practice. And we'll go to the thymus. I can stop fighting the night. I can let this moment be enough. Okay. I'm going to share one final tool with you guys. It is on the bottom of the foot. So instead of me showing you on the bottom of my foot, I'm going to share my screen with you because I do have a photo that shows where this point is. This is your kidney 1. It's about a third of the way down, right there in the middle. It's a really wonderful point to massage. And if it works for you to help you sleep at night, then I highly recommend that you use it. It's often used to help bring energy downward when the mind feels overactive or anxious. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Tension arose in this last round so as to protect me from letting go. There's some wisdom in that right now. So if you want to right now, if you have access, especially for this person who just shared, if you can reach that point on the bottom of your foot, massage the center of the sole of the foot. And imagine those thoughts draining downward out of the mind and into the earth. And if you pair that with some slow breathing, it can be very helpful for you. All right, someone is asking for us to share. It's a great question. I am not sure. I think it is on both feet. I just share what my TCM practitioners share with me and what I learned from the internet, but I don't have any education in acupuncture. But I do believe the kidney 1 is on both feet. And you can correct me if I'm wrong in the chat right now or in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. So for the person who asked to see again, it's right there, right in between. It's sometimes a little bit sore for me. So just noticing how it feels for you right now, especially for the person who shared that the tension rose. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for sharing. It is on both feet. Okay, so do you guys have enough tools now? Is that enough tools to be put into your pocket? Beautiful. Let's have one more round and then we'll just finish out for today. If you need to leave now, that's fine. You always will have access to the replay on YouTube. So let's just finish out this one round. And this is all about letting the body be held. And I want you just to kind of imagine that as we do this final round. Even though my nervous system has carried so much for so long, I'm open to the possibility that I do not have to stay on guard all the time. Good. Let's go straight to the top of the head. I do not need to brace right now. Eyebrow. I do not need to prepare right now. I have energy moving. Excuse me. Side of the eye. I do not need to force sleep. Under the eye. I only need to allow softness. Under the nose. My body can unclench gradually. Under the mouth, my shoulders can soften. Collarbone, my jaw can soften. Under the arm, my breathing can slow naturally. Wrist point, the bed beneath me can support me. Thymus, my nervous system can exhale, even a little. And then bring your hands to your heart, allowing all of that energy to come back to that place that we do hope to live from, remembering we are love itself. And just notice what's happening in your body right now. Notice your breathing. Notice your face. Notice your shoulders. Notice whether anything feels even 1% softer. Just 1% is enough. And someone is sharing some good guidance. Make everything black in your room, cover the clock, no blue light, no computer or phone for at least half an hour, no water at least an hour before bed, no caffeine after 2, keep room cooler at night. So these are the things. Thank you so much for sharing that. For some of us who've been dealing with sleep issues, we've been doing all of that stuff and still having a little bit of difficulty. So that's what today's tapping circle was about. You can absolutely do all those things and still not feel safe in your nervous system to let go. So, um, yeah, and you don't need perfect sleep to begin healing your relationship with rest. Sometimes healing just begins with less fear, less urgency, less pressure, less fighting, and just more softness, more safety, and more permission to simply be held. All right, your nervous system learned these patterns, and learned patterns can change. And we do that through safety and repetition and compassion and gentle moments just like this one. So, whether you are joining me live, returning to the replay before bed, or listening during one of those middle of the night moments, may your body remember you do not have to stay on guard forever. And if you found this circle supportive and you want to find out more about working with me, you can check out www.amandawonderland.com. There you can also join the Tapping Circle community to connect with me and others, and then we vote on each month's theme there too. For those of you that have always wanted to attend an in-person retreat with me, but circumstances haven't allowed it, I'm bringing it to you. So the final 2 weekends of September 2026 is the Personal Peace Virtual Retreat, and you can find out more at www.personalpeaceretreat.com, and you can take advantage of the early bird special before July 11th. Until next month, keep holding yourself gently. So much love.